Welcome to the channel. Thanks for being here. I'm Nero. Looking at Red Sun's Jalpine, Japan, Italy, aggro. Interesting deck. It's within the, say, aggressive archetype. It's not Jaggro because we're obviously taking Germany out, substituting Italy in. We'll take a quick look at the deck, then we'll do some gameplay and wrap up. One thing I like about the deck that's different than Jaggro is with the inclusion of Italy, your units are getting, in, as well as your Japan Alpine units, which are in here as well. Your units are having bigger ass. I'm not saying it's Kim Kardashian BBL level, but it's thicker, right? So it's a little more resilient against supply shortage, supply priorities, things like that. Especially with your 3rd Alpini Regiment, 2nd Alpini, which also draws you a card, the 2-3 Artillery, Fiat BR.20, which is really, really good in this deck. We'll get to attacking the colonies in a minute. There's some other Alpine units in here as well. But quick overview, 3rd Alpini, 4 expansions for your 1-drops, which and your other Japanese units, but it's so full of 1-drops, 19 1-drops. Type 93's first signal, Type 94 TK. So again, it's very much a Jaggro-like build. 3rd Yoko, Key 27 Nate, 2nd Alpini, the 4-4 Alpine unit. I'm not even attempting to say the word. More Alpine, 2nd rating, Audacity, the 2. I really like this card. Right, so when you play another Alpine unit, it does 1 damage and pins the unit. If it's an enemy unit, it can pin the headquarters. Not pin the headquarters, can do damage to the headquarters. But if it does 1 damage to a unit, it's going to pin that unit as well. Bombing Raid, Dragon Slayer, Shiden. If there's one change I might potentially make in this deck, I like attacking the colonies in this build, but I might be making this naval supply run. I think it might close out a game faster in that regard, but I do like the attacking the colonies for reach and for different things to close the game out or remove a unit from the board, the enemy unit. So we'll go ahead and get into some gameplay again. Very, very fast curve, but thicker units based on the Alpine inclusion in the deck. Thanks for being here. Stay safe and be well. Go ahead and get into some gameplay. Versus Britain. Nice. This was the first game too that I played. So testing out against Britain. I feel like all I play against is Britain right now. Just take that mulligan back. Really going for the curve here. I've got 1 drop. Everything else is kind of slow. Don't want to be slow against Britain. I have to assume it's probably Britain, US. Probably a ramp version, but don't know. But I'm really just trying to hit the curve, as aggressive a curve as I can. So we'll just keep Type 93. Much better. The 3rd Alpini, 15th Cav, Type 93. Let's see what we have. Yeah, Type 94, go. It is hot today, man. Expansion, good draw. We can certainly go expansion now, which is what I'm going to do. And then it's the question, I get 50, the other Type 94, just push it up, just taking my time, thinking it through. I'm thinking about supply shortage coming on the ensuing turns. But so it's like, do I play 3rd Alpini and setting up the Fiat? But I don't think there's really a reason to do that right now. Maybe on the ensuing turn, which would be at turn 3, 3rd Alpini into turn 4 Fiat is what I'm thinking about. I'm just maximizing damage. Not that concerned about overextending right now. I mean, typically we won't. You just put maximum pressure on the board. But I can't. I'm pretty certain he's got supply shortage and he's just trying to get me to commit a lot. So I'm playing the third Alpini now. Is it third? But playing the Alpini now with the assumption that he's likely going to play supply shortage. I could have just kept that Yoko back, but played it out. Again, not that much of a concern on overextending at this point. Sure. Just taking the time, thinking things through. But pretty certain what the play is because it was set up on the prior turn. Certainly moving that up is pointless, and that's not going to happen. And I've noticed a lot of times I actually play with the cards or move things around to get a better visual. I'm not sure why that happens. It's actually not a good thing. I would encourage it. Your finger can slip and you've ended up moving something. So that's pretty solid. Alpine support line, but we'll just try to jam them to the front and get there. Obviously, if he goes another supply shortage, we've got some resiliency due to the thickness of the units that we have in play. Glamour Boys was pretty predictable. But now we need to continue to apply pressure. So 4-5, it's good. Now I'm trying to look at his next play. Another thing too, with the carpet bombing, you get enough Alpine units into play, you can kind of survive that. It does do damage, of course, to the units, but trying to get them to survive is good. I really like the position we're in. Again, not that concerned about overextending, especially with expansion in hand. So you would think 15th Cav. That caught me a little bit off guard. Wasn't expecting France, but that's all right. Now you got double expansion, so pretty happy. He is floating 3, but I'm going to try to jam this card draw. Yep. Nice. I'm thinking the second rating is probably not going to be a factor. I'm just thinking about, obviously you could maybe hit a honey if they're running that. I don't know the list that they have, but just trying to get value where I can find it. Yep. Sure. We're ahead on card advantage. We have to do the damage all over again, which is pretty typical of Britain. But we're so far ahead in card advantage and board state, I'm really not that concerned. I thought about going double Kate here, change the mind. No other Alpine unit as a follow-up. Should have attacked with 15th Cav first. It's a 2-1. Always attacking with the lower attack unit. Even if they're not floating credits, you just don't want to form bad habits. Sure. Take it. So you can third Yoko here to save the Alpine unit. If you get more Alpine units, that's certainly a line. Just went this direction, but you could certainly say, well, let's attack with Yoko instead. And I'm just thinking at this point, is there really a reason to deploy more units? I don't think so. Could have jammed another 15th, but what's the point? If he does go supply shortage, then I lose 5 units. So it's a nice target for second rating, and that's gonna be game. Yep. Thanks for being here. Stay safe and be well.